A very warm welcome to all you lovely people to another episode of Women's World, the show that salutes and celebrates every woman. I am Moinitam. It is the dream of many young girls to become a model, walk the ramp, be a fashionista, participate in beauty pageants, get crowned as Miss World, Miss Universe, etc. But it's not always necessary for you to be young and a spinster to live your dream of becoming a model, becoming a Miss World or Miss Universe. You can be married and yet realize your dream. And many married women are now winning beauty pageants and getting crowned as Mrs. Asia Pacific Universe and winning other such titles. In one of our earlier episodes, we spoke with famous model Diane Resaurus, who shared her personal experiences, her journey, and told us about all that goes into the making of a model. Today, I have with me Rupalim Goswami, who has won several beauty pageants, including being crowned Mrs. Asia Pacific 2018 and Mrs. India Homemakers International 2018. Rupalim will share her story and let all you married women know how to turn your dream of winning beauty pageants into a reality. That's not all. In today's show, we will also tell you how to stay fit, and it's Tina Baby Borua, the well-known nutritionist, who will share with you quick, easy ways of living a happy, healthy life. Welcome to the show, ladies. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for inviting us.
Great to have both of you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Same here.
So let's start with you first.
Yes.
How did it all begin? Did you always want to be a part of any of the beauty pageants?
No, it's not like that. It just happened to me. Actually, if I go back, it's like back in 2008, around 8, yeah. When I used to be very, very fat before 2008. 2008, okay. My baby was born.
Yes.
So before that, I was very, very fat. I was 83 kgs.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and now I am 47. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like almost half of the weight is gone.
Yes.
So like once I lost those weights, and then suddenly people started complimenting me that you are very beautiful. So same people who used to call me ugly start earlier.
Yes. Suddenly they were finding you very pretty and good looking. Okay.
Yeah, and then it kept happening like that, and then suddenly there was some in-house shows in our club, so where I was invited, and then someone told me that why don't you walk the ramp in Numaligarh, where I stay. Okay. So I for the practice I went there, and then I walked the ramp, and that person told me that you don't have to walk so professionally. I was quite shocked. I was like, okay. So I told him that this is the first time I'm walking the ramp. He said, what are you telling me? The truth, like you are walking too professionally. We don't want that professional walk.
Okay.
And then, that somehow, I got too inspired.
Yeah. So
and
is that how your story began?
Yeah.
You never
like
wanted to be...
No. I had no such plan. Like I never wanted to be a model, or I never wanted to be, in the fashion industry. Yes, of course, I was very, very fashionable from my childhood. Yeah, very fashionable. I used to love clothes and all these things. Yes, I always used to be different from the others. But then I didn't know that I will,
actually finally land up being a part of this fashion
industry, in this world.
Okay. So very interesting to know that, from a 80+ person to now barely in the 40s weight-wise. So was it a real struggle for you? Of course, I will bring Tina also into this. Like how, how difficult is it for a very healthy person to who's almost obese?
Obese, yes.
To, cut down and look like this. So, of course, both of you can tell all our viewers what to do to cut down those extra flab without, having to lose out on much of the things that we love to eat. I'm assuming that, healthy people usually tend to eat a little bit more. They have that craving for
of
good
foods,
food.
Yeah.
So without, giving up too much, what is the trick? So both of you maybe you can start first. How did you manage?
Actually she's here, so I am
Yes.
no one to speak about nutrition here because
Yeah.
she herself is a nutritionist.
Nutritionist,
Yeah.
yes.
But still, how I did it
Yeah.
is like I started reading books first about nutrition and about diet tips and everything. I started reading a lot, and then I realized that the calorie count is
Yeah.
very, very important to lose weight.
Yeah.
Like in one day, if we need about 1500 calories, then if we consume less calories, like if we consume 1000 calories, then
Yeah.
500 is already gone, right? So that's
Okay.
how I counted. That's how I got the trick.
But how do you keep a count on all of these things?
Yeah, that is another part. Like for that, you actually have to go through all those, books and everything,
Yeah,
where
okay.
it's like, you come to know that which is of what count, like, the calorie count.
Yeah. So while buying the food product also, do you read the labels
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then pick?
yeah. I
that is
do, I
nutritional information is very, very requirement,
Yeah.
because in every food items, have different calorie.
Right.
So on that basis, one has to count, and everybody's body metabolism is also different.
That rate is
Yeah,
different.
Then
Yes.
on depending upon the body metabolism, you have to supply the energy. If it is more, and if your workout is less, then obviously you are going to put more of fats in your body.
Yes.
Yeah. So you need to burn your fats as well.
Right.
And keep a tab on how much
Yeah,
calories going
Yeah,
into your
going
system.
inside.
System, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, was it very tough for you? Did
for
you
me,
have
it
to
was
give
very
up?
tough.
On
I
many
had to
things
give
that you-
up many things, lot of things. In the first few months, I think I did not touch any oil, nothing, only boiled food, and then I stopped taking meat and everything, and then no fried things. And then, the book that I was reading, it was written, potato.
Yeah.
Fried potato is
Yes.
poison. When you see fried potato, think that it's poison. I started thinking that
like
way. Yeah. Because it
So
went
no
into my
French
head.
fries.
Yeah. Nothing, never. But I do eat these days
Yeah.
a little.
You
not much.
indulge now.
Yeah, I indulge.
But otherwise, don't you like having fried potatoes?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Chips.
I don't mind. Chips, yes,
Yeah.
I do like. But then I think because it's been quite some time, like, more than 10 years that I have
Yes.
lost my weight. So it's become a habit.
Now
that,
it has become a
now it's become a habit. And then now I don't mind. I don't like, if everyone is eating in a party,
Yeah.
like I don't mind not eating. No, I would rather
Okay.
stay back at home and then watch some television and then
Right.
read books and then
Yes.
be with myself, rather than indulging in such Saturday night parties. I
Yes.
usually avoid, and then it's become a habit for me. So I like it that way.
How did you keep yourself motivated?
Yeah, that is one thing that is very important.
Yeah.
Because as I have spoken about this before, like some people really made bad comments on my looks, like
Okay.
you don't look good, and then because you are fat, and then that fat thing was
Stuck onto your
was
head.
stuck on my head. And whenever I used to go somewhere, people would always call me, like, say the same thing, that
Okay.
you become so fat, so you're looking so ugly, you are so too fat, and that somehow stuck into my head. And then I was like, I have to lose weight at any point, at any case. I became 42 kgs at that point.
Okay.
I was I became so thin.
Yes.
It was unhealthy. Because
Anorexic.
yeah.
Is that
right.
what you call
Yeah,
it?
yeah, I think
Because
So you just drastically
I
cut
started.
your
I drastically
intake.
did it, which is very, very unhealthy, I guess. Yeah.
Right, because the more you cut, rapidly, if you cut down your weight,
Yeah.
you will gain also in that faster rate. So it is, it's slow process you have to go,
Yeah.
but in a healthy way. You have to eat healthy foods, but not like simple carb and simple sugars. All these things you have to cut down from your daily diet. You have to include more of fiber, and
Yeah.
now a concept it is there that you can include fats also. like ketogenic diet, which is much of the models they follow in that diet, where fat is there, because fat gives you much
energy.
It gives you energy, and also the satiety is in a longer time. You do not feel hungry. You give the fullness, so you do not feel like eating all the time. So in that aspect, you can put some fats, but in that particular meal, you have to cut down your carb. Carb will also give you the fat when it will not get digested or absorbed by the body. And on the top of that, if you are taking the fat thing also, so both the things you have to balance it out. So if you are taking very, very zero carb, and with that aspect, if you are putting some fat in your diet, it will give you taste enhancing. It will be, you will not feel like monotonous also to follow a diet, and you will not feel hungry for a longer time. So in that aspect, and the protein part, you have to increase more in your diet for going for a weight loss, because you have to go for your gymming or certain kind of muscle building exercises and all these things. So you require lots of protein. So it will depend upon what type of exercise you are doing. So on that aspect, we count it, and then we formulate the diet. As I mentioned already, that every person have its own metabolic system is different. So
how fast we burn our
his energy. So it will be a tailor-made thing, customized. So customized diet works much better
than just randomly
if you are following something. And now today, if you are following a zero carb diet, and tomorrow if you keep on eating again, because you cannot follow that for a longer period. Right. So once in a while, again, if you start taking the carb, we will put on weight. So it, if you have to, in a longer way, if you have to maintain your weight, so you have to follow a diet which will give you in a shape, and which will not make you sick also. That part also we have to see.
So for best results, it's always advisable to go to a nutritionist, to a dietitian, follow a proper regime, which my body or the person's body
we have
requires.
Seen some young girls, they follow diet, but in other way they will have some anemic problem and all this, because they are not taking proper fruits, or they are not including nuts and legumes, which will boost up their iron requirement on daily basis. Then they will have some muscle pain and all, because of like cutting down all the calcium rich foods and all. So that part also we have to see it.
So many girls are in the, like the younger ones, they are in the habit of suddenly going into a crash diet kind of a thing.
I have seen.
For easy results.
You have to go for proper exercise. With that, the diet has to match. Exercise is required, and then you have to go for the dieting. It is not like completely fasting. You're not eating anything, keeping yourself in a fasting mood, and I'm on diet. It should not be in that way.
That's unhealthy.
That is unhealthy. And being a mother, I think it is a very challenging. Even in my case also, I have 2 kids. Again, coming back to the profession and maintaining own, like
the routine,
because when I advise somebody, if I am not maintaining myself, then obviously the people will not get motivated. So motivation is very much required. In her terms also, in her story it is there, positive motivations she has taken. That positiveness should be always there.
Saying that, criticizing her looks and everything.
My looks.
She never, that's a very good point.
I took it as a challenge. Like, why not? Why not? Prove myself. You know, not to others, but still,
to yourself.
Myself. And then, when I saw that I couldn't wear anything, I was so fashionable. I was really frustrated. I couldn't wear anything, like, and then I thought that I need to wear good clothes, I need to look beautiful, I'm doing it for myself. That's how I did it.
It was like enough is enough.
That was like enough.
We have seen women love everybody, but first most thing they have to love themselves.
Yes,
they have to respect themselves.
Very important.
That is very, very important. Because a woman, if she is healthy, then only she can keep the entire family healthy. But
and happy.
In our culture and tradition, we have seen that they lack back of these things. After getting a kid, they will lag back. And I have seen many ladies coming to me with multiple health problems and osteoporosis, arthritis, joint pains due to having heavy weight. Now they always tell, after my second baby or first baby, I have started gaining the weight, and now having joint pains. With that, some of the ladies, they get into diabetic also, which is very, very common
so
nowadays.
what would you suggest to such women, like, after the first baby is born or maybe the second baby is there, so what is the kind of routine they should follow?
Even though they are like very busy with their kids and family, with the profession and all, but always, as I told you, they have to love themselves. This is very important. It is not like I have finished everything. Now, if I look bad also, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. That is very important.
That is very important. You have to love yourself. Then only you, as she told, that I feel like wearing good clothes. I should feel myself in a good shape. That feeling should be there. Then only you can be in the shape. Otherwise, what will happen? Whatever you get, you just munch it up, and obviously will putting on weight.
Either put on weight or maybe not get the right amount of nutrition and vitamins.
Yeah, that is also very important.
Those things, so therefore,
And calorie count is, as she mentioned already, it is very important, because if you are taking carb in the morning, if some ladies, if they do not have time at all, it is a very quick tip. If you are having rice in the morning, so just switch off the rice at night, and you just take lots of protein, which will help in, you can take some egg whites, 2-3 numbers of egg white, a full bowl of dal with veggies. It will give you fullness. And with that, you can maintain your weight also.
So this is what you're suggesting for the
suggesting
dinner
very,
time.
very quick, you do not have to make lots of recipes at home for following a diet.
And that is one thing I have learned, because before losing weight, I used to love cooking. Now also I love cooking. It's not that I hate cooking, but then I stopped, doing the cooking thing. Because once you are in the kitchen and you love cooking, you start making food for everyone. And these days it's nuclear family, so we are very less people. So at the end of the day, what happens is you end up eating so much without realizing. You
and
cook
also
for everyone, and then
you both are mothers. What happens is the child leftovers. Yes, it's something every mom has that habit. They end up eating, and then
rather than throwing them, let me eat it, and then khalo.
Yes,
but then I have stopped doing that also. A lot of things, a lot of habits that I have acquired, and a lot of habits that I have got into after I lost weight. There's little things which are very important, I think, for every woman.
Small little things which go a long way in the way you look. Your entire thing changes that way. But it's really tough. So did you also follow a good exercise regime?
I regularly go to the gym. I am. People call me you're addicted to gym, because I lift weights, and then these days the weight training that I have started, I think from last 2 years, and then I'm loving it. It's so good, because you can eat healthy food, you can eat good food, and then exercise it, and then still look so healthy and thin at the same time. So it's a everyone should, I think, go to the gym and then work out. If you don't like to lift weight, but you can always go for body weight and other things, or yoga or anything, because I believe that everyone should devote at least 1 hour or 1.5 hours for themselves, for working out, because if we keep our body activated, like the way it's like car servicing,
keep your body serviced properly.
Very important,
with food, the right kind of food as well as a proper exercise regime. Both should be there, and particularly for women.
Particularly for women. And then, one thing I have realized, that we have so much strength in our body. Before going to the gym, or before starting this, weight training, I didn't know that I could lift so much of weight. And then, it kept on increasing. Today I can lift 30 kg just like that. It's not a big deal. 30 kg in both the hands, and then I can do my squat, and it's very easy for me. But then that 30 kg, I used to lift 5 5 kgs in the beginning,
Yeah.
initially, yes. And then now I can lift 30 kgs in one hand. So it's like, you know, it's very, very astonishing. Like,
yeah,
you know,
how
that
you
we
can,
have,
that
we have
inner
so much,
power that we have within
everyone
ourselves.
has that
because
strength.
always, always women are, you know, supposed to be the weaker,
the weaker part.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
the other day I was at my friend's place, and then if you are watching, then you'll know. But then, you know, I saw some weights there lying on the floor, and then it was 10 kgs, and then I said, "Oh, you lift weight? It's good." And then I went there and I just lifted it. Yeah. And then he was quite shocked. He's like, "You left, you left the dumbbell with the 20 kgs." I said, "It's 20 kgs only. It's like nothing." So that way, like, you know, initially I couldn't have done that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But because you have trained, so you have managed to do that.
And then everyone has that strength. I think, I feel.
Yeah. You just have to push
Take it
yourself,
out, push yourself,
and sustain the entire training thing.
And then eat healthy, of course.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's of course. So how much time did it actually take you to cut down that kind of
to lose weight?
Yes.
Almost, it took me 1 year, completely 1 year to lose all those weights. Almost 1 year, 1 or 1.5 years. I started losing weight immediately after I started cutting down things, and then I started using the treadmill. Like, I used to do a lot of cardio in the beginning, like half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour cardio, only cardio. And then I started losing weight, lot of weight, and then I became 42. Then I realized that it's like getting too much. I'm getting unhealthy. People started telling me that you are looking unhealthy. I also realized, because I felt that my hands were skinny like that, you know. And then I also felt that I am becoming unhealthy. And then I realized that this is not the right way, because that's what I was telling her in the backstage. I was telling her that I was experimenting on myself, which is not a good thing. Everyone should not do it. But then I was experimenting on myself, how to do it. Then I realized that I should start, you know, going to the gym or start exercising, and at the same time eat some healthy food, not cutting down everything, like, you know, not like, you know, today also if you look into my bag, you will see that there is a box of nuts. Like, I always carry it, it's always there in my bag. You know,
for
dry
the energy
fruits. I keep having dry fruits all the time. So like that healthy food habit is very, very important. Like, breakfast has to be very heavy. Like the saying we have, you know, eat breakfast king size, and then so that is actually true. That is actually true. And then in the morning also I have good breakfast with eggs and everything.
So we'll come back to you on what our food, our plates should look like, you know, should have better, the must have on our plates, breakfast, lunch and dinner. But before that, viewers, we slip into a quick break. On the other side, there is lots more. Welcome back. You're watching Women's World. I'm Oinitham, and in today's show, we are in conversation with well-known nutritionist Tina Baby Borua. She has been sharing and will tell us more about what we must have as women, what are the problems that we usually face, and what are the solutions to most of those problems. Also in conversation, we are in conversation with Rupalim Goswami. She is one of our leading models and winner of several beauty pageants. So coming back to you, we were talking about what we must have on our plates. As you already mentioned, that being women, we usually tend to forget about ourselves. You said that loving us is the first thing that each woman should do. She was talking about the breakfast part and everything else. So would like to know from you, what would you recommend every woman, what should she have for her morning breakfast? Few things that every woman should take care of.
At least one glass full of milk, probably a skim milk, which is fat free should be. And full boiled egg, if not possible 2, 3.
Yes.
And always have, as she also tell, a handful of nuts. It is like dry fruits. It's have packed of full of nutrition.
Right.
It is a packed of like fiber. It is rich in protein, and it is rich in antioxidant, which will boost your immune system. So it is an easy way of munching. Right. So you can carry in tiffin, or you can put some on your breakfast meal, right. Whatever you are taking. And 3 things, it's very much necessary in all human being to know that 3 white things we have to be very, very alert. The 3 white thing is the salt, sugar, and your refined carb.
Okay.
So that should you take in a limited amount.
Not necessarily cut it?
Cut down, yeah. If unless and until you have some chronic disease, you do not have to cut down. But limitation always a key of, to be a healthy way.
Okay.
And
so sugar,
salt, and your refined carb. Refined carb, maybe maida, on all sort of like bakery goods, prepared with
so
maida.
So we should have biscuits as well, right?
Biscuits is healthy. But some nowadays it is said that biscuits are full of like multigrain atta and all these things. It is in the market nowadays available. But on the other hand, we have to see then the nutritional, this how much calorie
like you mentioned earlier.
Nutritional information tag. We have seen, we love biscuit. It is not necessarily one full pack of biscuit you have like munched it up in one single time. So this habit is very, very have negative impact in our body. If we have, I always tell my clients now, if you love something, it is not necessary that you have to eat a lot, that particular food item.
Right.
Every food has its own benefit and own negative impact in your body.
Yes.
So you have to be concerned with that.
So have everything in moderation.
Moderation, limitation is always a key of a healthy way. And mostly women's, we have seen that they do not take all over the leftover, like the non-veg items of the family which are with non-veg, they will take always the smallest piece of the
yes, whether it's a fish or the chicken
or whatever, like whatever.
Dani nature hai, every woman has that, every mom in every household has that thing कि बच्चे को खिला दो, पति को खिला दो, खुद कुछ भी
whatever you get the leftover you take it. But in my terms, no, I always take the big one because I do not take carb at night time. I take lots of protein. So it consists of a chicken, or because I do not have time to prepare several dishes. So whatever like prepared at home. So in that aspect, I take lot of like chicken or like egg, 3-4 numbers of egg white with that veggies, lots of veggies. So you can take in that way. And weight reduction, it's a motivational part, and you should have patience. It is not something you are following today, tomorrow you will get a result.
Right.
It is not like magic thing.
She had
that's right.
spent one and a half year.
1.5 years. Lots of patience you have to have it. And you do not have to go for some exotic type of food and exotic type of like fruits and all these things. Whatever you get at home, you can incorporate that in a you have to maintain in proper timing is very important.
Okay.
So early in the morning you get up and then you at least have one glass of water instead of having those biscuits and all. You can munch some healthy this chickpeas or nuts and all these things. Chickpeas, boiled chickpeas and all this. I always tell that plant protein is much benefited because it contains lots of fiber and you feel a feeling of fullness. This is very important. Now or whatever like green moongs and all, you can sprout it. Those you can take it instead of having some biscuits in the morning. And then you go with like balanced breakfast. It should not be only if you are taking roti and sabji, but protein part is missing out there. So you can have one glass full of milk or egg or have some nuts in the breakfast and then go with some mid-morning. If are working women, you carry some healthy snacks in the office. And then always like having, I met some women, they take 9-10 cup of tea in a whole day.
True, tea or coffee. Working women has this
the tendency of taking. And lastly, she ended up having a diabetic mellitus. She takes so much of tea. Obviously, she's taking refined sugar. So she ended up with that. So you have to be conscious, no? Always have a limitation. Having a 1 cup or 2 cups of milk tea will not hamper you, but that is like 11, 12 cups is
too
you know,
much.
very
A little
too
too much.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then have your lunch at proper timing and sleep. This is very important. It is not like all the time you know, flipping up your Facebook and WhatsApp nowadays, which is a very, very trend. So you having incomplete sleep, your metabolism will go down. And have some you know, gap between your sleep and the
last
dinner.
meal.
Last meal. It is not like you have glap up your everything and then you have straight away went for the bed. So if you are overweight or you want to keep yourself healthy, it is you know, you at least you have your meal at early possible. Then you have a gap of like 1 or 2 hours. Then you go for your bed. And have at least of 7 to 8 hours of sleep, which is very, very much important. And do not you know, get demotivated of like having children or family. You know, everybody have tension, everybody have their complications in their
lives.
in our own way. So you have to sort it out, but at the same time you have to be healthy. You have to keep yourself fit by
eating
right food. And as I told, the calcium and protein and iron rich food is very, very important for our women.
So would you like to name few of those products, the items, the food that are high in protein, calcium?
Yeah, right. So as I mentioned already, the legumes, as maybe soya-beans and like rajma, lubia, all these things, and then chickpeas or desi chana, that horse gram. That also you can
incorporate.
Kala chana, the green gram sprouted. If you sprouted it enriches in vitamin C also. So in that way you can take on daily basis, and then obviously calcium you will get it from the fish and you know, milk and milk product. But if you take milk and milk product, you have to be conscious that it should not be from whole milk, you know, which is contained of like lots of fat. Skim milk product is benefited. And for like having iron rich foods, go with like some of your green leafy vegetables and greens, you know, that you can incorporate it while preparing some recipes and all, like having making some chapati. It is not necessary that you have to take every time like green leafy vegetable bhaji or boiled type of things. You can incorporate it.
Even our omelette can have
some green
spinach or something like that.
Nowadays, whenever you open up your this online thing, you get lots of recipes here. And you have to keep experimenting those things.
True. Like you can also have, I think, red velvet cake because it has a lot of beetroot. No? If originally made, then it's actually made out of beetroot.
But then it will have sugar, I guess.
Yes, it will. Sugar. So one thing I would want to know from you, what about these other, sugar supplements that we have in the market, like a sugar-free or a stevia? Would you recommend those as replacements for sugar, or you would say that avoid as much as possible?
As much as possible, no, you try to avoid sugar if you are having, if you want to weight loss, and make it a habit. Your taste bud is everything. How you make your taste bud.
I was just going to interfere in between because sugar, like even I used to take sugar in tea, but then last 10 years I have stopped taking sugar in tea. Now I cannot drink. It's all about the taste bud.
Taste bud, how you make your taste bud. So if you make your taste bud accustomed with not having sugar, so obviously you can make it a habit. But if you want to have some sugar free over making some desserts and all, you can use it, but that also like limitation is always
I think
recommended.
Is it good to have sugar free
in a limited amount?
I heard that it's not very good for health. Is it like
it
that?
Is not it has some side effect on a longer run. So you can have it, but the limitation is always there. It is not now if I was taking a full 2 teaspoons of sugar in a cup of tea, now I do not take sugar, so I will add 4 pouches of sugar free in the tea to make it sweet. It should not be that way.
So would you recommend honey and jaggery instead?
Jaggery is more or less same. One is white,
the other one is brown.
The one is brown,
and
but the mother is the same, the sugar cane.
Therefore, it's not a very But we also believe that jaggery has some kind of vitamins
I don't know.
there.
I take jaggery, but today I have realized it's the same thing.
For taste enhancing, you can use it while preparing some dishes, but a limitation should be always there.
That's the key.
Yeah, I have met some of my diabetic patients. No, they say that they do not take sugar at all, but when we take their history, we find that they take lots of like jaggery and like that biscuits part of thing, the Mary biscuit and whatever, like because one Mary biscuit at least have 3 grams of sugar. Then how come they will cut down their sugar? Visible and invisible thing.
Right.
You have to see in part of like salt and sugar also visible thing what you see it, and invisible thing which is already put in the food items.
Preparing the product.
Right.
Yes.
In terms of like fat also, visible and invisible fat. Visible fat, you see it like butter, cream and all these things. Now you are avoiding all these things, but on the other hand, if you are taking a full pack of chips and like bhujia
or even
and all
pastries and cakes,
those contain like invisible
same
fat.
thing,
Right. So that is important, and carb counting is very important. As I told, she also mentioned that while having gymming or having some exercise regime, it is important that you should count your calorie, how much you want. So according to the height and weight, we measure the BMI, and then we calculate that how an individual person need a calorie in a whole day.
How much?
If the person is overweight, then we minus it 250 cal from there, because we ask them you burn that 250 calorie through your exercise. And like that, having some of different types of diet nowadays, like ketogenic diet or having high fiber diet or zero carb diet, but that has to be balanced, and how impact it is putting in your body, that has to be you have to keep counting it.
Okay, so in that case, it's always advisable to go on a diet or something under proper guidance from a
it is important. It is important. It is important. You should have a proper knowledge. Either you go for a nutritionist, or you have to read lots of books, as she mentioned.
Yes.
Because without having the knowledge, you cannot grab up the thing. You will otherwise you will end up with anorexia or having some anemic problem and other sort of health hazard you will have it.
Right. So coming back to you, so after you started, because did you have proper grooming training thing as far as
not as such, because grooming part I have done it all myself. Like I watch, I'm very updated with all the things. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and yes, of course, I took guidance from some, but then not in a proper grooming way. Like while walking the ramp, I have walked many ramps, like as a model before I joined pageants. So like that time I had learned things like how to walk on the ramp, and then those kind of things, and then other like grooming part, I think I have done it all myself. Because
you have started modeling here itself, or you did it because you studied
outside?
Right?
No, not there. Not there. I have started here in Assam.
Okay.
Not outside. After my marriage, that is after the birth of my child.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So how old was she at that point of time?
She was because in 2015 I joined Mrs. India Northeast. That was in 2015. So she was, I think, 5-6 years old
already.
6-7 years. Yeah, I think 6 years old. Yeah, already. After that was followed by Mrs. India Homemakers. After winning Mrs. India Northeast, and then I joined Mrs. India Homemakers. And after winning Mrs. India Homemakers, I joined Mrs. Universe. I was selected for Mrs. Universe.
Yes. So, has it been a tough thing to, get along with your own career while taking care of your home, your child? She's still young.
She's very young.
So how have you managed to maintain that balance?
It's very difficult. Sometimes it's very difficult, and sometimes you really have to divide the hours. You have to have a proper
time management.
Time management, proper time management. Like you will get up at 6, that means it's 6, and then you make her get ready, and then send and then if you want, I sleep for 2 more hours after she goes back if I'm not working. That way, like I know 2 hours means only 2 hours. After 2 hours, I'll have to get up and then do my stuff, and then, you know, start working on my things. Like, you know, because as a model, we have to keep ourselves updated with the social media. It's very, very important. It's very important. So, you know, that is also like
what
work
are the
only.
trends?
Yeah, what are the recent trends? What is coming
want,
up? Yeah,
all of those
stuff. Everything. We have to keep ourselves updated, and that is another, you know,
task
tip also
yes.
for the upcoming models. Like, you know, keep yourself updated. You know,
with
watch,
the styles, the look,
everything. Yeah, you know, Insta, YouTube, not only Facebook, but then, you know, Insta, YouTube, and then start following good personalities, and then another thing that today's model, they join a lot of pageants, but then, you know, while speaking, you know, while answering the questions are the you know, place where they lose most of their marks. You know, they cannot answer the questions properly.
They might look the best.
Yeah, they might look the best. They are tall, they are good everywhere, they walk so well. But then suddenly they are not in the top 10. Yeah, because while answering the questions, because they don't have knowledge.
Yeah, basically that is why the saying, no, beauty with brains.
Yeah, very important, very, very important, because knowledge is power, right? Knowledge has to have, you know, one has to have knowledge. You have to keep yourself updated with all the recent, you know,
developments
around the world. Everything around the world, not only in Assam or in India, around the world. I think that is very important.
Yeah, so, and also, do you feel lucky that, you know, everything started after you got married, because you never thought you'll land up in a world like this, which many women, many girls crave to be part of. Like, most people want to look good and
lucky,
be a model.
Yeah, of course, I feel lucky. And then at the same time, I had to go through a lot of struggles for that. And then another thing, that I was working in a college before, you know, joining, even after joining all this fashion world, I was still working, but then I left the job. Like now today when I look back, I feel that, you know, I did the right thing, because I was not, you know, getting what I wanted.
Not very happy and satisfied with what
not
you
very
were
happy and satisfied. So, you know, so I tell people today that, you know, follow your passion. It's very, very important, because we have only one life to live.
Right, yes. So eat right, be happy.
And be motivated in a positive way. This is very important for our women. Because lots of, you know, hurdles will come, lots of comments will be made by the people around you. Some will be positive way and some will be negative way. But you have to grab up the positive way, and you have to have some, you know, destination. That I have to land up there.
Some goal.
Some goal, right?
Goal.
Yes. This is very important. And it should not be stopped in one way. It should continuous process.
Yeah, like you mentioned earlier, mostly for women across India, the thing is that the two goals that most women across India have is कि एक शादी हो जानी चाहिए, दूसरा बच्चा हो जाए, तो बस our life is like we've achieved everything.
Yesterday I was watching that video, like, you know, you have to have a job by 30 and you have to settle down by 30. Who decides all these things? My God, who decides all these things? Where is it written? Where is it written?
These are
who decides all these things?
Yes.
Then you have to follow your passion. You have to do whatever you love, and then prove to the world that, see, I can be good at that. Because I believe that everyone is made for something, you know, and that person should do only that thing.
And believe
I believe
in
that.
yourself.
Yeah, believe in yourself.
Hey, I wanted to ask you something about, we've been talking a lot about nuts. Is it a myth that cashew nuts, the kaju, is it healthy, or does it have a lot of fats? Similarly, peanuts, ground nuts, all of these things. So, can we just grab the nuts without even having to think, oh, this is good, this is bad? Or should we be careful not to have a certain kind of nut too much?
Yeah, and in terms of cashew and raisins, if a person is having diabetic, we do not allow them to have, because the glycemic index, you know, it's more in cashew nuts and raisins. It will, you know, increase your sugar level at a very rapid rate. So in that aspect, we stop taking, we mentioned that you should not take dates and raisins and cashew nut, and other nuts you can take freely. But if you're not having any kind of like medical issues, then you can go with it.
So apricots are fine,
fine,
dried
yeah.
apricots are fine.
Walnuts, almonds, and the king of all nuts is the walnut.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yes.
second comes the
Almonds,
yeah,
yes.
almonds, and then apricots or whatever, fig and all.
Fig, yeah. Yes.
Fig gives you fullness also because it contains fiber. It's the fiber is more in fig. So those things can be carried in the office or like sometime while watching TV or something.
Yeah. When we feel like munching
something, so you can keep variation of all.
Yeah, I guess nowadays people take to a lot of makhanas as well.
Yeah,
roasted
makhana, yeah, that is foxnut.
Yes.
It is rich in fiber and it is healthier also because you just have to roast it.
Yeah.
And can be stored in a a
Yes.
small container, and whenever you feel like having a cup of tea or talking with your friends and gossiping and in a long duration you can have one or two munching those foxnut. This is very healthy, but that concept was not there among us earlier.
Yes, true. So you feel that the women in Northeast is now gradually getting more conscious about themselves, the fact that they need to take care of themselves. Have you both felt that gradually things are improving as far as women from Northeast is concerned? Are they getting more conscious about themselves and they want to look good and look fit and live fit?
I think there is a lot of improvements. If I look back, even 5 years back, there was no beauty pageants, nothing.
Yes.
And when I joined Mrs. India Northeast, that was the only beauty pageant in the entire Northeast.
Yeah.
So today we have beauty pageants, and then the married women are coming out.
Yeah.
And in a way, it's very good. People are getting very conscious. Even regarding health also, we see so many people going to the gym these days, which was not very common 5 years back.
Yeah.
So Northeast people are coming up. It's like
the
it's
women
a
are
good thing.
becoming
Women
more,
are becoming more active, and
Yes.
like they have started loving themselves.
Yeah, which she has been mentioning
Yeah.
all the time. That's very important.
Yeah.
And since you are married, you got into this field after having a girl child and all. So, clearly your family has been a huge support.
Yeah. My husband, my child, like
Yes.
my daughter, she supports a lot. She's the one who keeps telling me,
Okay.
sometimes for some shows, or sometimes I get invited to outside, the state, and then I keep, telling at home, what should I do? Shall I go? She's the one who keeps, Ma jua, Ma, you should go. Just go. Don't think about me. So that way, that is like, even I went to Philippines recently. I came back in December. So like I did not have many problem. She was always inspiring me. Telling me, reminding me things to do. There were a lot of things that I had to go through. So like she was constantly supporting me. Then my husband, and then my brother. My God, my brother and my mom. They are like the pillar. Like my brother is always there for me. Supporting me. My husband. So obviously we need a team.
And your family is your biggest support always
very
in whatever you do.
Yeah.
So finally, before we close, final words from both of you. 2-3 things that each woman should do, should remember.
Yeah, one thing is very important. This is that you have to have self-motivated. Patience is another thing. You should give time to yourself and eat the right food. This is very important. Whatever you are getting, it's not necessary that you have to grab up everything. You should have at least a basic knowledge that what you are eating and what that food will have what impact in your body.
Right.
This is very important. One concept is there in our Assamese tradition, jituke palu khai dilu.
Right.
That has to be changed. The mindset is very important. And the ladies who all are mothers, they should not stop their journey after having kids and all. They have to go to on regular. You should have your physical regime. You should have proper food, and water is also important. Then how much, because we forget to drink water.
Yes,
this is very common.
Yes.
So how much fluid intake you are giving, because you have to keep yourself hydrated to have a glowing skin. And you do not have to reach for the, as mentioned, that exotic foods. You can have your gooseberry, that's amla, very commonly available. So that also plays a vital role in your daily diet, because it is rich in vitamin C, and that also you can have it. And you can make some healthy foods at home only, which is comprises of some nuts or some sprouts and all together, and you make your children also to follow the same path. Then only will have a brighter future.
Right. Yeah, and we should, each woman, each one of us should invest some time on ourselves.
Very
shouldn't be neglecting us and then taking care of the whole world. Like both of you mentioned that to keep the family happy and healthy, I have to be healthy first. Right. Yeah. So from you, few words of advice for all those women, particularly the married woman who wants to get into this space, the world of fashion. How tough is it for a married woman to get into this world, and what are the must-do things that they have to do to achieve, to realize their dream?
Okay, the first thing I would say is, that it's very, very difficult. I wouldn't say that it's easy, you just come and join and then get fame. It's very difficult if you really want to have that fame, and then second thing I would say that keep yourself very fit and presentable, very, very presentable, because if you wanna present yourself in an international platform, it's very important that you speak well, you present yourself well, and then you have enough knowledge about the whole world, and then if someone really want to join, they are always welcome, but then before that, the grooming part is very important, because these days I have heard people saying, telling me that there are so many Mrs. Indias these days, why it is like that. I said, I cannot help it, I cannot tell someone that you don't join or don't do it, but then I would rather advise that so that people do not get a chance to speak, so groom yourself properly first, and then so that you can speak very well, you have enough knowledge about the whole world, and then so that whenever you go in an international platform, you left a mark there. That is very important.
Leave your mark.
Leave your mark, because whether you win, I was in Philippines, so whether you win or you don't win, that's not important, but then when now everyone knows me, I have made friends in Philippines from all over the world, and then they still know me, and they still know, okay, Rupalim, yes, she's that girl. So that way, leave a mark.
So you made a mark for yourself.
That is that will happen only when you are properly groomed and you have proper knowledge.
Do you think Northeast has enough grooming and finishing schools for our women, our girls? Not yet.
Not yet, I still believe, because here we feel, yes, we have lot of we have a lot of grooming schools, yes, but that is insufficient for an international platform. Because when you enter in the international platform, you will see girls are so well groomed. They are like, wow, So I feel Northeast is still lacking behind in that matter, because as I already told you, like our girls, when they join Miss India or Miss World or Miss India basically, and then they come back home, not even coming in the top 10. That is, I believe that, also because we don't have much knowledge, or we don't have much,
the infrastructure here is lacking.
Also speaking ability, that you improve yourself, they need to improve themselves a lot.
But we hope that things will change very
things
soon.
Are changing, yes, things are changing.
Yes.
Girls are getting, very, very beautiful with brains these days, yes, but then we want more.
Of course. Well, thank you so much for joining me on the show today. And viewers, thank you so much for watching. See you next week with another episode of Women's World. Till then, it's a goodbye from the entire team here in Northeast Live. Thank you and goodbye.